Ain't nobody signed a permission slip for me. Mm-mm. Huh? Oh, yeah? I ain't know that. Okay.
A bunch of guys from the neighborhood show up and ask you for a permission slip.
On trading my register, I back in self-defense, y'all.
These are rappers who got checked by their ops. Starting with NBA Youngboy, he would get ran up on while filming a video in LA. Some locals didn't like that he was filming in the area, and they decided to pull up on Youngboy's crew. A car comes by as guys yell at NBA Youngboy from the vehicle. After frustrating Youngboy, a video then showed him walking the street angrily and started screaming back at them. That's when someone from Youngboy's crew pulled out a firearm from their waistband and began pointing it at the vehicle. The dudes in the car quickly sped away. Everyone on the street began screaming. That's the last of the video we saw, but we would learn that no casings were left off by Youngboy's crew later on that day. While NBA Youngboy was pulled up on, DaBaby would stand his own ground, as back in 2018, DaBaby was caught filming a video in East Atlanta. During the middle of his music video, a group of men rolled up to check DaBaby as he was using their turf to make his video. They started questioning DaBaby for being there, asking where his permission was to film in their hood. However, DaBaby didn't back down easily, and he decided to stand his ground.
Ain't nobody signed a permission slip for me. Mm-mm. Huh? Oh, yeah? I ain't know that. Okay.
Despite being outnumbered 7-1, DaBaby demanded respect from the group because he isn't afraid of no confrontation.
Check out what I'm saying. I ain't no peewee though, so it don't go like that. It gotta be respect. It gotta be respect. You see what I'm saying? That's all it is. It gotta be respect. Look, nah. Y'all just come, y'all give respect. Y'all would've got the utmost respect. You see what I say? What good with y'all? Y'all alright?
After things calmed down, DaBaby showed that he wasn't scared and he wouldn't obey by their rules. Later on DJ Vlad's interview, DaBaby would speak on this entire situation.
A bunch of guys from the neighborhood show up and ask you for a permission slip. I think they actually use those words.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah. So
he said,
where's your permission slip? Did you feel that it could have gone wrong?
Yeah, your guy was on their side. Your guy was on their side, you know what I mean? It worked out perfect for him.
While both DaBaby and NBA Youngboy were confronted by goons, Spot 'em got 'em situation made him very lucky to even escape alive. In September of 2020, he posted that he was hanging out at a famous recording studio in downtown Miami, the House of Hits. With the building being very well known in the area, it did not take long for Spot 'em's ops to find out exactly where he was. After a full day at the studio, Spot 'em exited and hopped into his vehicle. Once stopping at a traffic light on his way home, another vehicle pulled up and began using firearms at Spot 'em and his friend. The suspect let off 22 casings before speeding away, leaving Spot 'em and his boy both hit. The following day, no one even knew if they made it out alive. Spot 'em's attorney would announce they both would recover fully, thankfully, while making it very clear this was a drive-by. Spot 'em never even retaliated. However, the internet would later find out that Spot 'em was driving a stolen YouTuber's vehicle, as Spot 'em claimed that he was only driving the vehicle and he wasn't responsible for stealing it. Whether you believe it or not, the YouTuber would find his car.
Nah, yeah, it was white. It was stolen in Atlanta. Sheesh. 22.
With Spot 'em's incident going incredibly worrying, Julio Fulio might have had it worse, as Julio has been caught by his ops many of times. In the 9th grade, he was caught beefing with rival crews across Jacksonville before his music even took off. However, things turned very bad for him, as in December of 2014, news broke that Devron Crowden had been hit while he was waiting for his school bus. Julio and Devron came from the same school, however they were both known to be connected with rival street teams. Julio's school was in the Opps neighborhood. He was always on edge and always ready to go. Devron's passing was being announced. Everyone began quickly blaming Julio Fulio for doing it. Despite Julio insisting that he had nothing to do with it, he would go on to make a mistake at dissing Devron to prove that he wasn't scared of anyone. Then the following week, he would almost get into a brawl with 3 people before jumping onto a school bus because they wanted revenge for Devron. And everyone claimed that Julio was responsible, as once he was jumping off off of the bus, he would find a spot to relax. However, 10 minutes later, a hitter came up and sent casings his way, as Julio Fulio would sadly be hit, as he would then need to crawl to a nearby house as he needed medical attention for his hip. Hoping to escape, a lady was on the porch. Julio Fulio was on the sidewalk, crawling, begging for help. Rather than helping, the lady on her porch wanted nothing to do with him and even told Julio to get lost. Having nowhere else to go, he had no choice but to act like he passed, laying on the ground until the coast was clear, as Julio would eventually make his way to a nearby hospital and getting help for his injuries. However, while getting medical attention, police quickly questioned him about Devron Crowden. They grilled him about the Devron case. However, Julio had a great alibi. It turns out that he was on his way to school at the time of Devron's passing, clearing him of any sort of involvement. Despite clearing his name, he decided it was best for him to just drop out of school once Julio recovered, since he still had many targets on his back. But that wasn't the only time Julio had been caught by his ops, as in November of 2021, Julio pulled into his driveway after a night in the city. When hopping out of his truck, multiple hitters let off casings in Julio's direction. Julio would end up grabbing his piece to retaliate. However, once it was over, Julio would notice that his leg was grazed. However, it wasn't too serious. So he skipped on going to the hospital and instead he hopped on Instagram Live.
It's not no shit. I ended my whole on my dad. Stop playing with me. And I didn't get hit. I got grazed in the leg. Stop playing. On trading. I ended my whole. Stop.
He didn't even stop there, as he would follow it up saying, "Y'all missed a whole 100 clips, literally." Now, once fans learned about this, they assumed Julio would have got taken out by the end of the year. However, Julio posted to social media saying that he was just acting in self-defense.
On trading my register, I back in self-defense, y'all. Back in self-defense. You know what I'm saying? If I did something illegal, I would be in jail. The police would put me in a...
With Julio getting hit out of nowhere multiple times, Quando Rondo and his crew also got hit, with Quando most being known for his involvement surrounding King Von's passing in 2020. Quando has had a huge target on his back ever since. And in August of 2022, Quando would get into a very sticky situation outside of a gas station.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles and cameras captured the aftermath.
As when Quando and his boys parked at the gas station, 3 hitters emerged and were using firearms towards Quando's crew. Rumors quickly spread that he was hit and passed from the situation. However, the reports were wrong. Instead, it was Quando's best friend Lil Pab who would sadly pass in this situation. As once police arrived at the scene, video shows Quando crying after realizing what happened to Lil Pab. Even though Quando went through a terrible situation, O-Block member Lil Reese had been involved in many instances with Opps. As in 2019, a rapper named Skeezy posted many videos showing Lil Reese having a brawl with around 5 guys. To make matters worse, fans then claimed that Lil Reese went number 2 in his pants during the incident. Reese would later address the situation, stating that 5 guys went after him.
Wow. Wow. Where they do that at?
As Lil Reese would then also post a video to Twitter flexing his cash, showing that they never took any money from him either.
Some money for me, this how much you gonna come up. Saying take somebody they made me. Myself took money, y'all broke. I ain't do nothing. Jump on the real and I was back.
But Lil Reese would not be done getting checked by his ops, because on May 15th of 2021, reports claimed that Lil Reese was involved in another one.
One of them, rapper Lil Reese.
He was grazed by, and this is not the first time Lil Reese has been the... It was also in 2019.
As Lil Reese's crew would be hit while he was driving a stolen vehicle. A news report said a father used GPS tracking to locate the stolen Dodge Durango. After driving to the location, he'd head into a parking garage, finding Lil Reese and his boys inside of their stolen vehicle. Someone then pulled a firearm and began using it almost instantly, leading into a full-on brawl between both sides. The driver of the stolen Durango then tried speeding off to escape. However, he crashed into a pillar inside. Reese's crew then exited the vehicle, and then they continued using their firearms as well. As a result, Reese got grazed, and this audio leaked of the man confronting Lil Reese.
Reese out here leaking. Stole my car.
Then once again, Lil Reese would get caught up in the streets less than a year later. Lil Reese was depositing money into his mom's bank account when a car quickly pulled up beside him, unleashing 26 casings at Lil Reese, as he would sadly be affected in his neck area, and he managed to recover fully, thankfully. Later, he appeared in an interview to speak on the situation.
It came out my back. It went from my neck to my back. So it came out like right here, and it came out my back right here. Yeah. So that went out my neck, came out my back.
Somehow, Lil Reese has managed to escape so many altercations with his ops. However, a new school rapper got caught by total surprise would be Lil TJ. As back in 2022 in June, Lil TJ was caught by a man in a hotel parking lot. The suspect approached Lil TJ in an attempt to rob him. However, things escalated really fast. While firearms started going off, Lil TJ and his boy would get hit, and his second friend in the backseat also would then use his firearm in retaliation, trying to save Lil TJ's life. When Lil TJ would land in the hospital, he didn't look too good. He was in a deep sleep for a very long time, uncertain if he would ever even wake up. Luckily, a few days later, he got back up and he even began recovering extremely fast. As 2 months later, he hopped on IG Live, showing his appreciation for everyone's support, and even dropped his return track titled Beat the Odds.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy TJ, man. I'm just checking in with y'all. I just want to say thanks for the love, thanks for the support.